Today, I'm going to be debunking some of the most popular interior design styles and decor pieces that so many people are using online that honestly look fantastic in photos, but they serve little to no actual function in day-to-day life. And you know, I am all about function over aesthetic. There can be a blend of two, but there's certain things that only look good online that have no practicality to them. In a world where everyone wants to have those Instagram perfectly styled spaces, sometimes they just don't work. So let's dive right into it so you guys know what to avoid. First on the list is going to be your double vanity. And when I say a double vanity, I reference the actual sink itself. The amount of people that have been including these really beautiful elongated vanities with one big trough have never used a vanity in their entire life. Having a countertop with no working surface serves absolutely no function. Where are you putting your toothbrush, your toothpaste, your hair care, your skin care, your body care? The amount of products that are used in a bathroom need to be highlighted and focused around where they are being located and how you are using them. If you only have a trough for a sink, because that's literally what it is a trough, which sounds so underwhelming, where do you put anything besides in the actual sink itself? You're giving yourself more surfaces to clean and it serves no function. It does look absolutely stunning in photographs. These pictures are the perfect example of how you can really make something that has absolutely no function look really good in a photo. Two sinks, no space. All foreplay, no finish. Marble mosaic floors will always have a special place in my heart. And when I talk about marble mosaic floors, I'm not referencing your standard mosaic. I'm talking about those mosaics that have an array of different marbles, textiles, and stones and finishes in it. The only time I have ever seen these look absolutely incredible is in photographs and commercial spaces. If you are bringing in multiple finishes into a room, especially on the floor, you need to understand how much visual attention it grabs from the rest of the room. It always looks super busy and is visually chaotic. And if you use natural finish like these pictures, you understand how expensive these really are. You're spending like $15,000 plus on a foyer that in your mind looks beautiful, but honestly, it looks like a geology project. If you do like this look, I want you to keep in mind the space that it's being installed in. And if you are using multiple finishes on the floor, I want you to actually narrow it down to using two. If you're using 3+, it ends up looking so messy. You already know how I feel about vessel sinks, but those single vessel sinks that are just the pedestal themselves, I guess you would call them pedestal vessel sinks, which is already a red flag on so many levels. The only great visual aspect of these is that they look so sculptural and so beautiful. I've seen the ones in glass, the acrylic, and the stone ones, and for being honest, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I think that would be so stunning in a powder room to have this sculptural effect, but when you think about it, there is zero function that comes from this. Where is your soap being placed? Where is your hand lotion? Where do you put the towel? You then have to have everything on a wall installed to give you that super clean and minimal look. And then you're actually taking away from that minimal look because you're adding more clutter. The other downside about these sinks is that the splash does not get contained like your standard vanity. You don't have a splash zone that is actually controlled and blocked. You now are opening up the drywall and surrounding areas to water damage, because if we're being honest, when people are washing their hands, they're not like this. They're washing their hands, water splashing everywhere. You want to make sure the surrounding areas are either waterproofed or protected. The only time I would ever see these being ideal is if you and your guests don't actually wash your hands.
Did you wash your hands with soap?
I hate myself a little bit for putting this one on the list, but I am always about function with you guys and what is actually practical, and I need to add pivot doors to this list. You know, those super large architectural ones that look incredibly beautiful in videos and photos. The amount of videos I've seen of people in Tulum and these beautiful warm countries with this giant pivot door that opens looks so chic. There are so many downsides to using these. The first is going to be temperature control. If you have these in any kind of environment where your air conditioning or you're heating a space, the amount of HVAC control that is needed by one of these doors is literally insane. You are going to be paying so much more on your electricity bill to either heat or cool your space. In some areas of the world, these also aren't to code. You'll need to have an additional vestibule that you walk into that has another door to contain the amount of heat and cooling that these doors let in. Every time I see one of these doors, all I can do is visualize getting chased by a killer. I know it's super niche, but have you seen the Scream movies? When they're running away from the killer and they're trying to get into their house, could you imagine opening a 200-pound pivot door and trying to close it in time while you're getting chased by a killer? That's what I thought. You're not gonna work. Could you imagine? I know some high-end designer in Somewhere Beautiful introduced this trend of having a shower in the middle of the room, and it looks absolutely stunning. It is sculptural. It is aesthetic. Like the photos and videos of seeing these, of having this beautiful rain head shower and just trickle down water with this nice curb around the middle of the room, look unbelievably beautiful. But if you have ever, and I mean ever, showered or taken a bath in a room that doesn't actually enclose and keep the heat or the steam in, you are freezing cold, people. Oh my goodness. I know I've mentioned the curbless showers that have a single glass pane on one side and a wall on the other, but this is taking it to the next level. I have personally showered in one of these before, and if you live anywhere that has more than one climate and any kind of temperature control, you are going to have that on scalding hot just to keep yourself warm. Also, forget about any kind of bath mat, because there is no way you're containing water and splash in this. You need to create an actual wet room that is waterproof just to have this. And I hate to say it, not many people have that amount of square footage to do it. If you do have that room, you're probably not showering in one of these.
What did he say?
Just like the word fetch, stop trying to make rustic wood happen. It is trying to make its comeback. It is always tried to make a comeback, and it never actually lands properly. These rustic wood plinths serve little to no function because it's so rustic. The surfaces are usually super uneven and not actually finished properly. So if you're moving that stuff around or you're cleaning it, it's going to destroy whatever cloth you're using, and you're probably going to get a splinter. Joke's on you, this is not the kind of wood I want on my body.
Keep it in your pants, Santiago.
Oh, that's exactly where it's going.
99% of the time, this rustic wood has been dehydrated. It means it's not going to keep its shape, and over time, you're going to get a wobble to it. So unless this is off the side that no one's touching most of the time, this is something that looks beautiful that really does not serve its function. I love a brutalist styled home, but some people are taking it to the next level. If you have a brutalist styled space, it needs to be committed to just that interior design style, because it's so intense that if you bring something else in, it looks out of place. So many people are doing this raw wall brutalist look that looks so silly, people. You're putting up the plaster and only half finishing it. It looks like you just ran out of money and weren't able to actually complete your project. There have been so many designs I've seen online of people doing a bathroom renovation, a kitchen renovation, where they have this beautiful, super modern or traditional styled vanity and kitchen, and then the walls surround it and the bricks are deteriorating like they're aged. I was like, people, come on, this does not look good. The function of this is meant to protect the drywall. If you are not completing drywall mudding and taping on the drywall itself to close off those walls, you're open to so many bad things happening down the line. There's no softness, there's no warmth, and it literally gives District 12 Hunger Games vibes. I've seen so many people also doing this in bathrooms. People, the amount of moisture that you get in the bathrooms is insane from showering and all the water exposure. If you do not have any kind of seal on this drywall and the plaster, you're just asking for mold growth. Now I have to ask you the most important question, and you need to tell me in the comments, because this also divides so many people. Would you rather have a super high functioning aesthetic house, or would you rather have it just have the form of function? Now I get it, there still needs to be a balance of both, but some people either go super far in one direction or the complete opposite, where they're like, I don't care what it looks like, as long as it serves a function, that's all that matters. I know some designers are gonna hate me that I always call them out for function and aesthetic, but if we're being honest, it really comes down to how you are living and working in your space. You need to watch the other videos in my series on this, because there are so many things that look great in photographs that really do not work in everyday life. That's all for today. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're not already, follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Mr. Phoenix Gray for all my daily tips and tricks. And if you're ever second guessing yourself, just ask, what would Design Daddy do? Definitely watch these video series to know what to avoid in your home. Boom.